The discovery. The Galactic Coalition's Grand Assembly Hall buzzed with activity as representatives from 300 species gathered for the quarterly survey report. High Commissioner Zora, a tall, willowy being with iridescent skin that shifted colors with her moves, called the session to order. Today we examined System J4721, containing 8 planets orbiting a G-type main sequence star, she announced, her skin shifting to a formal blue-green. Chief Surveyor Naxtul will present the findings. Naxtul, a squat 4-armed being with metallic scales and compound eyes, stepped up to the central platform. His specialty was cataloging planetary systems and assessing their potential for colonization or resource extraction. Most planets in this system are standard types, gas giants, ice worlds, and a couple of barren rocks, Naxtul explained, projecting holographic images above the assembly. However, the third planet presents an unusual case. The hologram shifted to show a blue-green sphere swirled with white clouds. This planet, which the database designates as J4721-3, displays extreme environmental instability. Naxtul continued. Surface temperatures range from -50 to +50 degrees on the standard scale, often within the same region over a single rotation cycle. Murmurs rippled through the assembly. Such temperature fluctuations were considered catastrophic on most inhabited worlds. Furthermore, Naxtul added, the planet experiences constant crustal shifts, resulting in earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and unstable landmasses. Nearly 3/4 of the surface is covered in corrosive dihydrogen monoxide. You mean water? Interrupted Representative Krell of the aquatic Melberry. Water isn't corrosive to most carbon-based life. This concentration is, Naxtul countered, high sodium content, filled with primitive life forms that consume one another. The atmosphere contains excessive oxygen levels, combustible by coalition standards, and powerful magnetic field fluctuations regularly disrupt the polar regions. The hologram displayed violent storms, lightning, tornadoes, and massive waves crashing against coastlines. The gravitational pull is 1.3 times the coalition average, making it unsuitable for most of our member species, Naxtul concluded. I recommend classifying it as a Class D7 world, marginally habitable for microbial and simple organisms only, with no potential for intelligent life development. High Commissioner Zora nodded. Any objections to the D7 classification? Silence answered her. Why would anyone object? A planet with such hostile conditions clearly couldn't support advanced life. Very well. We'll dispatch scout ship Viridian for standard biological sampling. Captain Vexlor, prepare your crew for departure within 2 cycles. Captain Vexlor, a veteran explorer with leathery gray skin and 6 limbs specialized for both manipulation and locomotion, acknowledged with a slight bow. This would be a routine mission. Collect samples, catalog whatever simple organisms manage to survive in such a hellscape, and return home. Nothing to get excited about. 2 weeks later, the Viridian hovered in high orbit above Earth. Vexlor reviewed the preliminary scans with growing confusion. Run the atmospheric analysis again, he ordered his science officer, Taz. These readings can't be right. Taz, a being specialized in data analysis with multiple neural nodes floating around a central brain case, pulsed with concentration. The readings are consistent, Captain, but I'm detecting something unexpected, artificial satellites. Thousands of them. Vexlor leaned forward. Natural debris caught in orbit. No, sir. Manufactured objects, and they're transmitting signals. The bridge fell silent. Vexlor moved to the observation port and stared at the blue-green world below. How could anything intelligent enough to build satellites emerge from such a hostile environment? Captain, called the communications officer, Mira, her tendrils writhing with excitement. I'm intercepting thousands of transmission signals from the planet's surface. They're structured, complex, definitely artificial communication. Show me the surface, Vexlor demanded. The main screen shifted to high-resolution imagery of Earth's surface. Vexlor's 4 eyes widened as the impossible became undeniable. Cities, roads, vehicles, agriculture, a global civilization. "This can't be," whispered Taz. "The Coalition's assessment protocols have been refined over 10,000 years. We don't make mistakes like this." "Apparently, we do," Vexlor replied. "Contact Coalition headquarters immediately." The response was swift and incredulous. High Commissioner Zora herself appeared on the communication screen, her skin pulsing in agitated purple. "Captain Vexlor, your report is troubling. Are you certain these structures are the product of indigenous intelligence?" "Absolutely, Commissioner. They have cities, transportation networks, communication systems. They're even venturing into space. Primitive craft, but space-capable nonetheless." "Impossible," Zora insisted. "No species could evolve higher intelligence on such an unstable world. Your equipment must be malfunctioning." Vexlor felt a spark of irritation. "With respect, Commissioner, I verified the findings through multiple systems. This planet is home to an advanced civilization. They've built structures that withstand their world's extreme conditions. They've adapted to gravity that would crush most Coalition species. They survive temperature swings that would kill any of us." "What manner of beings are they?" Zora demanded. "Bipedal, mammalian, carbon-based, relatively fragile-looking, actually. We're still gathering data. Remain in observation orbit. Do not initiate contact. The Council will deliberate on this matter. This anomaly requires careful consideration." After Zora's image faded, Vexlor turned to his crew. "Continue passive scans. Let's learn everything we can about these beings." For 3 days, the Viridian observed Earth from orbit, collecting data on human civilization. The more they learned, the more astounded they became. "They call themselves humans," reported Taz. "And their planet Earth. They're divided into various social and political groups, but they're all one species. They've only developed rudimentary space technology, but their development curve is steeper than any recorded species in Coalition history. Their biology is remarkable," added the ship's medical officer. "They're adaptable to an almost unbelievable degree. They can survive in deserts and Arctic regions alike. They can recover from injuries that would be fatal to most species, and their reproductive rate is—" "What?" Vexlor prompted. "Alarming, sir. They can double their population within a single century." Vexlor digested this information silently. No wonder they thrived on such a hostile world. They were evolutionary extremophiles, adapted to survive conditions that the Coalition considered uninhabitable. "Captain," Mira called suddenly, "we're being scanned. Multiple radar systems from the planet are tracking us." "Impossible," Vexlor replied. "Our cloaking system has been penetrated, sir. They shouldn't have technology capable of detecting us, but they do. And now they're attempting to communicate." Vexlor hesitated. Orders were to maintain observation only, but if the humans already knew they were here? "Show me the message." The main screen displayed a simple mathematical sequence, prime numbers, followed by basic geometric principles expressed in binary code. A universal hello. "They're cleverer than we thought," Vexlor mused. "Coalition protocol says we should withdraw and wait for instructions." He stared at the screen, at the intelligent greeting from a species that should not exist by all Coalition understanding. A species that had evolved on a world of storms and earthquakes, of freezing winters and scorching summers, of predators and diseases and natural disasters, and had not merely survived but built civilizations. "Sir," prompted Mira, "should we withdraw?" Vexlor made his decision. "No. Prepare a response in kind. It's time we introduced ourselves to the impossible humans." "But sir, Coalition regulations will catch up to reality eventually," Vexlor finished. "These humans have already detected us. They've already reached space. First contact is inevitable. I'd rather it happen on our terms than theirs." As the Viridian descended into Earth's atmosphere, Vexilor couldn't help but feel that everything the Coalition thought it knew about habitable worlds and the evolution of intelligence was about to change forever. The Reckoning. The Coalition's emergency assembly convened just 24 hours after Captain Vexilor's unauthorized first contact with the humans. The Grand Assembly Hall, usually ordered and ceremonial, crackled with tension as representatives argued among themselves. High Commissioner Zora slammed her ceremonial staff against the floor, sending vibrations through the chamber. Her skin had turned a deep crimson, a sign of extreme agitation. "Order," she demanded. "This unprecedented situation requires clear thinking, not chaos." The assembly quieted reluctantly. Captain Vexilor's actions, while against protocol, have exposed a significant gap in our understanding, Zora continued. The Classification Committee will answer for their error, but our immediate concern is how to proceed with these humans. Chief Scientist Laxel, a spindly being with translucent skin revealing complex internal organs, stepped forward. Their bodies can self-regulate temperature far more efficiently than any Coalition species. They can recover from injuries that would be fatal to us. Their immune systems constantly adapt to new pathogens. Even their psychology seems geared toward overcoming obstacles. They're insatiably curious and surprisingly resilient to setbacks. A representative from the Security Council raised an appendage. Are they dangerous? Laxel hesitated. They're paradoxical. Their historical records show constant conflict among themselves, yet also remarkable cooperation. They're fragile individually but formidable collectively. They've developed weapons of mass destruction, but also art of breathtaking beauty. They're complicated. And now, they know we exist, Zora said flatly. Captain Vexilor reports that their initial reaction was largely positive, but there's significant variance across their population. Some are fearful, others excited. Their governments are scrambling to establish unified protocols. "We should send a proper diplomatic mission," suggested Ambassador Krell. "A single scout ship can't handle this situation." Zora's color shifted to a thoughtful blue. "Agreed. We'll dispatch a research vessel with full diplomatic credentials. I want experts in comparative biology, sociology, and planetary science. We need to understand how these humans function and what they might mean for Coalition expansion policy." 1 week later, the Coalition research vessel Luminary entered Earth orbit. Its mission: establish formal relations with humanity while conducting extensive research on both the species and their improbable homeworld. Dr. Renlo, the mission's chief scientist, could barely contain her excitement as the first human delegation boarded the Luminary for talks. As a xenobiologist, she'd studied hundreds of intelligent species, but none that had evolved in conditions like Earth's. The human representatives, 5 individuals from different regions, appeared remarkably calm considering they were meeting aliens for the first time. They walked confidently despite the Luminary's gravity adjustments, which had been calibrated for the comfort of various Coalition species rather than humans. "Welcome aboard the Luminary," Dr. Renelo greeted them. Her translator converted her complex harmonic speech into English. "I am Chief Scientist Renlo." A human female stepped forward. "I'm Dr. Elena Sharma, representing Earth's United Nations. These are my colleagues from various continents. We're honored by this historic meeting." The formal introductions proceeded smoothly, but Dr. Renlo couldn't stop analyzing the humans' biology. Their ability to function in the Luminary's environment, slightly different gravity, atmospheric composition, and temperature than Earth's, without any apparent discomfort was remarkable. "If I may ask," Dr. Renelo ventured, "how are you finding our ship's environment? Is it uncomfortable?" Dr. Sharma smiled. "It's a bit warm, and the gravity feels slightly off, but nothing we can't handle. Humans are quite adaptable." "That's putting it mildly," commented Ambassador Tekla, who represented the Coalition's diplomatic corps. "Your species evolved on a planet we considered unsuitable for complex life, let alone civilization." A male human with darker skin laughed. Earth can be harsh, yes, but it's also beautiful. Its challenges made us who we are. Over the following days, the coalition team conducted extensive interviews and non-invasive examinations of their human guests, while human scientists were permitted limited access to the luminaries' database on galactic civilizations. Dr. Renelow's findings shocked the coalition leadership. Humans can survive in environments ranging from -40 to +50 degrees, she reported during a secure transmission to High Commissioner Zora. They can go without water for 3 days, food for 3 weeks. They can lose up to 40% of their blood volume and still recover. They can adapt to high altitudes, deep seas, extreme dryness, or persistent wet conditions. How is this possible? Zora demanded. Evolutionary pressure, Dr. Renelow explained. Earth's variable conditions forced them to develop remarkable biological flexibility. But it's not just physical. Their neural adaptability is extraordinary. They learn constantly, solve problems creatively, and display remarkable psychological resilience. Are they a threat? Zora asked bluntly. Dr. Renelow considered carefully. They could be, if provoked. Their technology lags behind ours, but they advance extraordinarily quickly. More importantly, they thrive in conditions that would kill most coalition species. In a conflict, they would have a tremendous home field advantage. Then we must ensure there is no conflict, Zora concluded. The diplomatic talks proceeded productively, with both sides cautiously optimistic about future relations. The humans were eager to learn about galactic society, while the coalition was fascinated by humanity's unique development. Then disaster struck. A massive solar flare, far more powerful than the luminary sensors had predicted, erupted from Earth's sun. Coronal mass ejections threatened both the luminary and Earth's infrastructure. The coalition vessel's shields could protect it, but Earth's satellite network and power grids faced catastrophic damage. We need to warn them, Ambassador Tekla insisted as the luminary's crew prepared to raise their shields. Our systems can detect this phenomenon with greater accuracy than theirs, added Dr. Renlow. Their northern hemisphere will be hit hardest. Millions could lose power. Captain Mevinar, commanding the luminary, made a quick decision. Open a channel to their United Nations. Share our data and offer assistance. The humans responded with remarkable speed. Using the coalition's advance warning, they managed to safeguard critical systems and prepare emergency responses. When the solar storm hit, damage was significant but far less than it might have been. Then something unexpected happened. As the luminary itself was buffeted by the solar radiation, several critical systems failed simultaneously. The shield generators overloaded, leaving the ship vulnerable to the second wave of the solar event. Evacuate non-essential personnel to the central chambers, ordered Captain Mevnar. Divert all power to the remaining shields. Dr. Renelow monitored the situation with growing alarm. It won't be enough, Captain. The second wave will be stronger. Our hull wasn't designed for direct exposure to this level of radiation. A communication came in from Earth. Dr. Elena Sharma's face appeared on the main screen. Luminary, we're detecting shield failures on your vessel. Our space agencies have prepared 3 craft ready to assist with evacuation if needed. Captain Mevnar stared in disbelief. Your vessels aren't equipped for space rescue operations. We've modified them based on the technical specifications you shared. Dr. Sharma explained. They won't be comfortable, but they'll get your people to Earth safely if necessary. Ambassador Tekla approached the captain. They're offering to risk their lives to save ours. Why would they do that? Captain Mevnar wondered. The answer came as the luminary worked with human space agencies to weather the crisis. While the coalition vessel ultimately managed to restore its shields without requiring evacuation, the collaboration revealed something profound about humanity. In the aftermath, Dr. Renelow updated her report to Coalition headquarters. The most remarkable adaptation humans have developed isn't physical but social. Despite their internal conflicts, they display extraordinary altruism toward others in crisis. even others not of their species. When faced with the solar event, they didn't hesitate to offer assistance, despite the risk to themselves and their limited resources. This adaptability, physical, mental, and ethical, explains how they've survived on a planet that by all coalition standards should be uninhabitable. They don't just endure adversity. They learn from it, grow stronger because of it, and help others through it. I recommend immediate reclassification of Earth from Class D7 to Class A1, Cradle of Exceptional Intelligence. Furthermore, I suggest the Coalition reconsider its entire planetary classification system. If humans could evolve on Earth, we must question what other forms of intelligence we've overlooked because they didn't fit our preconceptions of viable environments. High Commissioner Zora read the report with her skin shifting to a deep, contemplative purple. The Coalition had existed for thousands of years, spreading across the galaxy, cataloging worlds, and encountering hundreds of intelligent species. Yet somehow, they had missed Earth, not because it was hidden, but because they couldn't imagine intelligence thriving in such conditions. What other blind spots might they have? What other wonders had they missed because of their assumptions? As the formal alliance between Earth and the Coalition took shape, Zora made a decision. The humans would be invited to join the classification committee. Their perspective, forged in fire and ice, in storm and earthquake, in a world that never stopped challenging them, was exactly what the Coalition needed. They had laughed at Earth once. Now, they would learn from it, and from the remarkable beings who called that impossible world home.